I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. I'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's start with the approval of minutes,
which are not there, sorry.
Yes, we have no cat. Okay.
Down one bottom.
Okay. Approved by the committee of 2, 16 Jacobs Way. And on to old business, we have 124 Seascape Lane.
Oh, I'm sorry, 124 is adjourned, they're not ready.
Okay,
So there'll be a motion to adjourn that till August 24th.
Second.
I can't make the motion, one of you are gonna have to make it.
Second. Aye. New construction, 15 Jacobs Way, 16 Jacobs Way, sorry.
Good morning, I'm Erica Broberg, the architect for 16 Jacobs. And this is just a revision to the plans that you already saw. It's very similar. We've moved the screen porch to the back of the building, so the house is less wide. And we've changed the diamond pattern windows to a smaller diamond pattern. And the only other change is the owners are considering either an all taupe scheme, which is all sort of, a gray wash color of the window. We don't know yet the exact color, but everything really tonal, or white, and they haven't decided yet. And that's the new screen porch on the back. So that's the only changes from last time.
Last time's plans.
It was on the Google Drive,
Yeah.
so the before and afters.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Was there a before and after on there, Tony?
Yeah, I believe so.
I didn't see it before. That's the only thing going on here, so. I don't think it's in the set.
You want me to show you on that?
There's the plans that were submitted, I just handed them out on the last. Did you submit befores and afters?
We did.
We did, okay, well, let me see if I can.
So really the only change is that screen porch that's on the back used to be on the side.
So what's the difference in the diamond lights then?
They're just a little bit smaller at the board's request.
The actual window itself.
No, the actual diamond proportion. Before it was like 3 big diamonds. And we scaled them down, but we didn't scale them all the way to a historical size because the windows are 2/2 egress windows, so it looked weird.
Maybe it was a little bit more vertical.
It's even more, more square versus rectangular. Lower.
Yeah, we did actually have to slightly adjust the proportion to fit the diamond.
Yeah.
Garage.
There was, we didn't have a rendering of the garage, it's just a gabled structure.
There's no.
I think the prior renderings,
Did not have a garage.
Not.
there it is,
Yeah.
there it is.
There we go. Okay. Yes.
So basically the porch, the box was sort of brought to the front.
brought to the back.
Brought to the
back.
Which is the west side. It's
To that facade.
yeah, it's more compact, looking smaller looking in scale from Jacob's Lane. And then that bump out is not sticking out on hedges, it's on the west side.
I like the painted trim to match the windows.
That's what it would be, either be taupe windows with taupe trim or white windows with white trim, we're deciding.
I guess I like the, I don't like the white, but that's, you know,
I prefer the taupe.
yeah.
They just told me yesterday they were leaning toward the all sort of tonal scheme.
Good. I like it.
I like the way.
I think it's more subtle.
Yeah, I think it breaks up the volumes a little bit.
Yeah, but it disappears.
Right.
Look at the back of the house, please.
All over the world, you know.
So in that second floor on the right side, what's happening inside there?
That's open air.
The motion thing?
Are there windows inside there to another room? It's hard to say.
There is a door
A door.
to a hallway.
Is it lit inside there?
Uh,
Because to me, that seems like a part of glazing. I know
It
it's
is
not
part of
actual
glazing.
wind. It is.
Yes.
You're counting it.
the actual, that volume opening is counted. We came down in glazing with this one, which we submitted, which is lower. We also took the transom away from the bedroom as requested. The transom windows across the, excuse me, the sliders you can see on the left. Those transoms were removed.
Great structure. The structure is nice.
Yeah.
I have another question about the chimney. The skinny tall one on the right is much taller than the one on the left, and I'm just wondering why and if it needs to be that tall.
That's the renderer. There's a formula where it has to be a geometric formula, so it's going to be as low as it can be to have clearance away from the roof plane. And that will be in the construction drawings. It won't be tall, it will be the minimum.
It's different in the old drawings. Last one.
I guess I agree with Catherine. I think with the taupe trim, the third floor egress windows become more subtle. It can be a little intrusive with the white windows.
I agree.
But I see nothing that presents like an overt historic violation of this personally.
Okay, thank you.
So are we okay saying just on this color thing, either or? Is that
I don't think the owner knows what they want yet,
Right.
so I don't know if it's a committee of two thing when they
Right.
come back.
That's what I'm
with
wondering.
What they've chosen.
We could approve either, both.
Or whichever one you prefer, you
Yeah.
could also do that. Or suggest, yes, or if it doesn't matter which color you, but they can choose, I mean, that, you know.
I agree.
You could approve one or the other if you so choose. We like taupe, you like the taupe.
They told me yesterday they were leaning in that direction.
I'm just gonna ask that. Is there a pool in a pool house?
There will be a pool, no pool house.
so I'm just, maybe I'm confused.
It'll be a rectangular pool
I
with
see
a.
the pool in the.
In this one,
Yes.
yes. June.
Right.
So there will be a pool with a 24-inch bluestone coping around it. The landscape design is not done yet. And so we've put that into his, Brian Stannis, we've put it into his purview of laying out the pool.
But sorry, the pool's laid out on this one.
But you guys don't.
No, I'm just curious, like,
Well, the rendering is to show the whole layout, I mean.
I'm just wondering why you showed it last time and not this time, like the whole area, I'm just curious.
Because they met with the landscape designer and they're deciding where to put it, so I removed it from the scope because I didn't want to misrepresent the location of the pool.
Got it.
You know, they're in the middle of getting pool pricing. And the landscaper and the,
So this is just whatever, but this is not gonna be here, this kind of ledge.
it depends on the water table and how far I lift the foundation out of the wall because of the, I haven't set the actual height yet of the first floor. We are using a split sill foundation, so we are gonna be able to drop it a little bit lower, which is a better quality foundation because there's no wood exposed. They do wanna have a terrace in the back, and we're not sure if yet the edge of the terrace will show like that, and if it does, it will match the parging, the taupe colored parging that goes around the foundation. So that was just to show you that we may have a little bit of an edge showing. We might not be flush to grade, which really, we shouldn't be flush to grade.
No, even a split, so you got up 6 inches or something.
Right, we're gonna tie right in.
They're HVAC guy with a split sill, so you can.
What is the chimney material?
It is stucco or the stone that the neutral stone that we originally showed. They have not decided yet. I told them either would be pretty.
Was brick in the water? The idea
Okay,
of,
like painted brick?
yeah,
We were looking at Danish blend historical brick, but then we would have to tie the brick into the front porch or the rear terrace, and then, you know, and for some brick gets really hot, you walk on, and then it was like, is that language, because this is a little bit more transitional, is that language, the brick appropriate? So then we went toward this butyl stone, which is like a rectilinear flagstone, which will have all those taupe colors in it.
okay.
Then we got a price for doing the flagstone around the perimeter of the entire foundation. That was in, then that was out. So then that's going to stucco parging, so the question is, do the chimneys match the parging?
Don't
around the
choose kind of, yeah.
foundation?
I don't think they have to match the parging.
They don't. I mean, I don't think it's
Like
really,
a stone?
Well, I feel like we're not, I don't know how many stucco things are in Sagaponic. Just in terms of the look and feel of it.
Stucco parging is fine, you know, but the stone, chimney should be stone.
there are some stucco fireplaces, I would agree.
Yeah, I just think that it's not necessarily where Sagaponic came from in terms of
The
how things
stone
were
or
done
stucco.
historically in Sagaponic stucco.
I don't know, I just finished the renovation of Rowdy House, Rowdy Hall, and that is a stucco. That's from the 1600s, and that is a stucco chimney.
In East Hampton?
Yes, so some of the, you know, oldest houses did actually have parging and stucco on the chimneys. I don't know if there were any,
A
pardon?
lot of them were brick. The chimneys were brick.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of them that are actually,
And there is a little more.
I'd have to think about brick.
No, brick, I don't want brick, I'm saying old.
You know,
Yeah.
well, there's certainly, you know, nothing that I think is more detail, there's offensive about this. I think if you wouldn't mind coming back to us with your decisions on chimney and
I
paint
think they
color.
want to move forward, so I think we should just decide now. I don't think they want to keep, I don't think.
Okay, we don't have plans to decide on because we don't know the chimney, we don't know the paint color.
So let's say the chimney stone and the color is taupe.
That's good.
Okay,
That's good.
Should we vote on that?
Pardon me?
We should vote on that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
That's fine.
let's get her done.
Yep.
Are we okay doing that without seeing samples and knowing the exact color?
You specified the stone.
The stone has an actual built piece of wall at the entrance of the driveway to 16 Jacobs. It's a giant piece of the built stone that you could drive by and look at. It was Kevin Warren from Fifth and June built this thing for the owners to approve. It's a dry stack, so there's not any there's not a lot of grout showing. It's very beautiful. So if you want to drive by and take a look at it, you can. It's right, it's like 10 feet in on the driveway.
So are you saying that this structure that's out there is what the chimney is gonna look like?
Yes,
On
it's the exact stone. The sample box was purchased and it was built. It's very beautiful.
Right, so,
Do you wanna adjourn it to a committee of two, so you can go look at that
I
stone?
think so. I don't know.
And
I'd
if
love
you
to
bring-
trust, I'd love to trust, but I think it's a little.
And if you bring.
It just means the
Scary to
next
do that.
few days,
Exactly.
we stop by, look at it, and then
Where
we.
exactly is
approve
it?
So maybe-
it.
And we're not doing another meeting.
No,
No,
you're a passive role in this.
Okay.
We'd love for you to come back with the exact paint color, and we will go drive by the stone.
No, but the stone.
Right 10 feet in, they made a little firebox.
We're gonna go drive by and look at the stone. And then we can.
Okay,
approve it
so
by committee
here's the
too.
issue with the stone color. They're bidding 3 different window companies. One is a custom unit, one is Sierra, one is Marvin, actually, and Anderson. They all have different versions of taupe. So that's not gonna be figured out until the window order is sorted out within the budget of the project.
Well, then that's when you can submit that, and then the committee of two can.
But what about getting a building permit?
I don't think you can do that until you've chosen your colors. Or windows for that matter, right, so.
Okay.
Okay.
They all have different versions of taupe.
Well, AWD is pricing it with metal windows, stainless steel windows that can be painted.
Powder.
They're, yes,
Powder coat.
they come in a Sherwin-Williams paint color you like. And then Anderson has Terratone, has 2 different beiges, which I was leaning away from because they're just the 2 beiges that everybody uses, the 2 taupes, the Sandtone and Terratone. Marvin has their own versions, but Marvin A series has more. There's a whole lot of choices. I think they just want to get their permit so that they're sorted, so they know when the house can come down, the house that's there. So I'm gonna tell them that we need to choose this pretty quickly.
We
These
think,
renderings, what are the windows in these renderings?
The rendering is done by, a renderer who lives in Buenos Aires, to be honest with you. There was a lot of people like,
Your renderings
we're
don't
not-
have any of that.
we're not, like, there is a rendering, so there, you don't import the actual unit. The layout of the mullions is correct, but we don't actually import the exact specifications of the mullions and muntins on a window into a rendering.
do you think your client would be able to suss out the windows during this month and submit it to us and use that color as a facsimile for the trim color?
I mean, honestly, the way that I typically would do it is that the house is framed. They then would mock up some of the shingles. They would put the bleaching oil. They would run sample trim. They would put sample stone. And then we would go there with the Faro and Ball book.
Yeah,
And then we would match one of their sophisticated colors. We would then go and probably get a custom color to match, elephant's breath or one of those sophisticated Cotswold colors. And then we would match it to that and get a price for that. But that's typically during construction. Usually we need a mock-up because of the light. And we leave the shingles up with the bleaching oil on them to start to see where we are with the color. That's typically how I would do it. Picking it now is, we can do it, but
But you can only pick it now if you use the more expensive stainless steel windows. That's the only way you can get the color you want.
I'm not
Is that
sure,
correct?
I'm not exactly sure what Marvin will,
You don't know what Marvin will do.
there is a gambit of choosing to the best of your abilities to get the approval, and then if you have to come back in for an amendment.
I don't feel comfortable approving a design where we don't have actual plans and you're not sure about actual windows, so I think we need to adjourn this.
the plans were sent in.
I mean,
Okay.
with actual building plans.
Yes.
You have that.
Oh, sure, they are,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Well, I think.
Should we then just pick one of the Anderson colors, the taupe, the standard taupe? And then if it changes from that, if we deviate from that taupe to another taupe, it's an administrative
You still have to see it.
We don't have all the information today.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjourn. And we can do committee of two if you have your information set
Okay,
that we can approve by committee of two. And when that comes to us, then we can take a look at it and approve it or not.
okay, so what do you need from me? You need window color,
Window choice, window
you
color,
need the manufacturer,
the paint chip. No, well, you
Paint
just
chip.
named 3 different kinds of windows, so whatever you choose on that.
so you do need the manufacturer.
It would
I think
help,
so,
I
yeah.
mean, with Anderson, you've only got 2 choices, Marvin, you don't know. And with the other window, you can have anything you want, right?
I guess we don't need to know the window choice, but you'll have to have the window choice sussed out for yourself.
Right,
To know
so
your.
to tell us with the color,
So I guess we don't need the window manufacturer.
Right.
As long as the paint color stays.
I was gonna say, okay, so you need the paint chip for the window
Yeah.
color.
And our field trip.
And you're gonna go look at the Bushel Stone, which is the one that's right by you're gonna do a site visit. And do you need a hard copy set of plans, another one, or,
You know, as long as John has it in the building department, that's fine.
okay?
And then if the window choice does impact the glazing,
I gave you the updated glazing percentages. So, and it actually was reduced. So it's just the window color.
if the new decision on the windows, if that does impact the glazing, if there is any change to that, we need a resubmission as well.
No, the window design, the windows are all specified and dimensioned. So we take our dimensions based on, we take our calculations based on square footage dimensions. It's just the actual manufacturer, our rough openings are set.
Okay, so whatever, confirming just whatever paint trim is gonna match that window, and we will look at the stone. So I'll make a motion to adjourn this for a committee of 2.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Thank you, and we will have the color picked, they're here, so I'm gonna be able to in the next couple of days.
And the officer will have to have a second, it's scary.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Move on to new business demolition, 182 Town Line Road.
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair. Eric Reagan, council representing the property at 182 Town Line Road, along with Stuart Sekis. Okay, great, okay. The architect, Stuart, Arias Design, and Dewey's Planning, all of whom are here. The principal presentation today will be by Mr. Sekis, of course. But I would like to very quickly describe the efforts before the zoning board to make the house consistent and harmonious with the neighborhood and community. The property is a 3-acre zone, R120, but is less than 1/2 an acre in size. It's actually 0.437 acres. The lot width is 80 feet and the average lot depth is 238.4 feet. The applicant's lot is one of 18 properties on the west side of Town Line Road between Daniels Lane and the beach. There's a whole strip along there, as I'm sure you know. The lots are small and mostly quite narrow. They do not come close to the 3 acres required in the zone now, nor do many of the houses meet current zoning, as would be expected for a neighborhood originally developed largely before zoning was enacted. As a result, of this history, variances and certificates of approval from NDOT have been granted for development of many of the lots in the neighborhood. At the same time, the approvals granted generally do not allow McMansions and keep the homes moderately sized and within the allowed coverage. Similarly, renovations and redevelopments of the neighborhood have largely maintained traditional materials and designs facing the street and the public. The house proposed here meets those concepts and is consistent and harmonious with the neighborhood. The proposal is also respectful of the neighbors. It does not cause disharmony or inconsistent burdens or detriments to the neighborhood. The neighbors, the community, or large. The most important design elements from the zoning were The size is fully conforming to both accessory structures and the house. The house would be substantially moved back from the street so that the front yard setback would be increased by nearly 25 and a half feet from the existing 34.6 feet to 60 feet. The originally proposed entrance gate was removed entirely. The southern side yard setback is increased from 5.4 to 8 feet for the accessory greenhouse and 10 feet for the house. There are no pyramid law intrusion. The driveway was moved from the south, borderline between this lot and the lot to the south, to the center of the property, providing room for ample parking. The zoning board approved the required variances and found among other things, that the substantial increase in the front yard setback and the compliance with the pyramid law avoids the impact of the dwelling on the streetscape. The removal of the driveway gate avoided the concern that gates, in the zoning board's language, detract from the open rural beachfront aesthetic of the neighborhood. The parking lot in the front is sufficient and common, and it's a common configuration in the neighborhood. Bottom line, the zoning board found the proposal does not cause any detrimental change in the neighborhood. And next, the structures are appropriately sized, located, and designed for the neighborhood. That's their language. So from their point of view, the zoning board found that this project was harmonious and consistent with the neighborhood. Now I'll turn this over to Mr. Vasekis, and we trust and hope that you will come to the same conclusion from the architectural point of view. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Stuart Vasquez, 14 Wicked Drive. I'm the architect for 182 Town Line Road. Thank you for your time today. Short thing I want to read, and then we'll take questions. I'm sure there'll be plenty. The project is for the demolition of the existing house and the construction of a new single-family residence on Town Line Road, just up from the ocean. One of the primary design challenges was the site's size and proportions. At only 80 feet wide, the lot is noticeably narrower than many of the surrounding properties, and the required setbacks and pyramid restrictions further compress the buildable envelope. Those constraints shape nearly every aspect of the design. So our goal was not simply to maximize what could be built within the approved zoning envelope, which Eric discussed, but to create a home that feels appropriate to its settings. We wanted the architecture to belong to Sagaponic, drawing on the scale, proportions, materials, and character that define the village while still having its own identity. So this is the existing house, as you can see. Can we see a slide of the?
Do you guys want to deal with the
Yeah,
demo
I was just
first?
gonna say that.
Oh, I didn't realize it was.
That's okay, I mean, they are certainly one and the same, but we have agenda items that we have to kind of approve the demolition, and then we can move on to talking about the new design. So if you could share with us the original architect from the house you wanted to demolish.
I don't know who the original architect was. It's a combination of an existing home. Jamie Cohen is the owner. She actually had more information about this than I did, but I can see I'm putting her on the spot and she's not going to know.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
I think the house was, the original small house was maybe built in the 40s.
I believe the original house, which is,
Could you just state your name?
I'm sorry, Jamie Cohen, homeowner of 182 Town Line Road, Sagaponic. The original house is that first and second photo. And I believe that was built in 1942. And then the garage, I have no idea when that was built. Then that second house, that 2-story structure, I believe was built in 1988. And it was they were connected later on, I'm not exactly sure when. I believe it's when the person that we bought it from bought the house, I believe she connected it then.
I think there were 2 separate COs, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, it's a whole long complicated story that I'll tell you, but it's it's really hearsay from what the owner told us when we bought the house, so I don't have like technical data.
Right.
I think given the base of the constructions, unlikely to be a carpet and others.
The garage and dwelling were given a CO in 1967. And then in 84, there was one for one-story frame dwelling, one-car detached garage, and an accessory storage shed. And then 87, there was a living area addition and deck addition to one family dwelling. And then 88, they did a renovation to the building. And then in 24, John did an updated CO. So that's the CO history.
Do hate to see you. It's so cute. I love it. I've driven by many times. But I can absolutely understand that the new design is much more livable and makes more sense. So does anybody have any thoughts on demolish?
No.
Everyone's comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the demolition of 182 Town Line Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we can move on to the new construction of 62. Oh. 182.
Thank you.
That's actually, you know, I'm so sorry, excuse me. It's not on the agenda to look at the plans. It just says demolition.
No, it's underneath
It does.
Construction.
on the first page at the bottom, the last one, it says the application on the construct.
16 Jacobs Way.
Oh, you didn't get a new one.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's probably just what I printed out.
It's the same, if you look at it, it was just a street address that was wrong, I
Okay.
amended that.
Okay, I'm fixing it now. Okay, great. Let's sign this. Please continue.
Okay, so the new house. We could bring up
What would you like?
a rendering of the front of the house, maybe frontally, that's perfect.
There's 7 pages on this, just let me know which one you.
Okay, if you feel the urge, you can scroll through, it's shocking, because I don't have any particular agenda in
Okay,
regard to the
no problem.
slides. So a particular focus throughout the design process was reducing the perceived scale of the house on the street. This probably doesn't demonstrate it as well as one that maybe is taken from the street. Let's see if we have that. Yes, okay.
How many square feet was the old, were the old, like all three of the structures or 4 of the structures? How many square feet?
Quite a bit less, but I wish that I had these things on hand. I don't. I can get them for you
That's
for
okay,
sure.
Just curious.
The new house GFA is I think 2,800 roughly square feet. The old one, and I'm looking at Jamie in hopes that she maybe has this information, but probably doesn't.
The existing house, I believe, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so with, please take it with a grain of salt, I believe about 2,000 square feet, including everything.
Thank you. Where are we now? Or the new one? 28.
2,800 above ground GFA. I think I'm off by 17 feet or something.
Okay, great. That's helpful. Thank you so much.
What was I saying here? We were, the scale of the house was important to us, and we thought that a more conventional 2-story structure for the whole house would appear unnecessarily large for the site, especially considering the width and the proximity to the street. So instead, we approached the massing in 2 ways. On the south side, which is the one that's most frontal on the left, the primary bedroom suite is tucked into the roof volume above. Oh, night shots. And using a shingle style approach that allows the upper story to read as part of the roof rather than a full second floor. So in this way, the left side of the house from the street is a more single-story nature, a little oversized, but it's more single-story. And we're bringing daylight and ventilation into the middle rooms through the use of skylights. I've just recently used them on another project, actually up in Lake Placid, and they're these very beautiful skylights we got from England. They're flush, they're low glare, I knew you were going to ask me that, and I can tell you before because I couldn't remember. I was hoping I could, but in any case, they turned out really beautifully up there. It was a zinc roof, but it was very flush, and it's important, obviously, because of its appearance from the street that we keep it as low profile and as unobtrusive as possible. On the north side of the house, so if you could go back just a little bit, that's great. The footprint of the first floor is set back. In between, there's the entry to the house, which is an outdoor porch. And the second floor bedroom is conceived more as a cottage, sort of sitting on top of the structure below. It's also set back on three sides. And we've inserted planters around that. The landscape architect can talk more about that. The plantings, but probably native grasses, anything that would require less maintenance. But by separating the upper level mass, the building reads as more of a composition of smaller elements, rather than a single story, rather than a two-story house, which was our intention. So those same ideas guided how the house presents itself to town line in general. Rather than reading as one large building, we wanted it to feel like a collection of smaller, carefully composed volumes that sit comfortably within the scale of the surrounding neighborhood. The house just to the south has a similar feel and presence on the street. I'm sure you've been down there to look at that. But you can see, I think it's more or less finished now. They had raised that house. So in any case, we feel the approach creates a quieter presence along the street while remaining true to the character of the village. The materials palette follows the same philosophy. Natural yellow cedar shingles are used for the walls, solid mahogany, columns and beams for the frame elements, red or yellow cedar shingles for the roof. We're not quite sure yet which one we'll go with. Custom gray painted wood windows and doors throughout the house. Brick chimneys, and also a limited palette of other traditional materials that are more ground form oriented. And anyway, these were all selected to reinforce the building's connection with the village, trying to use some of the same materials that are used everywhere. So taken together, these decisions about massing, proportion, materials, and detailing were intended to produce a house that feels comfortably scaled for both the site and its surroundings while fully meeting Jamie and Ken's needs, our clients' needs, for their above ground spaces. So finally, a lot of time was spent with Arias Design. Steve is here from Arias. They're the landscape architect for the project. And they produced a really beautiful design for the grounds, street frontage, and we feel it's very well integrated into the surrounding. You can see the hedge on the right is the neighbor, that huge hedge which exists. This is a very much more kind of low key approach to the landscaping, but I don't know that we're actually even going to talk about that today. So anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
May I ask a question about the skylights?
Yes.
The one on the farthest east side has shingles on the wall. Is that a door?
That's actually an inset window. It's not a door. You can't access it. It's the same height as the front windows, that kind of shingle style detail where the shingles curve in. It's the exact same window. It's half the size of the front facade, and it's tucked all the way back. That's a small office for the client, and it's a really cozy room that we were trying to figure out how to keep birds out of that little roof area there, and we haven't quite determined how we're going to do that.
For construction, would you put a pan on the bottom of that or?
It's actually all the gutters are internally drained. So, I could swear we had that in the renderings, but it's a little hard to see.
Is there a detail, a gutter detail?
We don't have the detail yet, the exact detail, but the gutter will be inset approximately 18 inches from the eave edge and, set back up. It will be, I'm guessing it's going to be around 4 inches wide, 4 or 5 inches wide, and running the length up to 18 inches shy of the gable ends. That drainage for that inset, I don't know what to call it, inset window, would be into that same system. And then it will be internally drained.
It's not sky.
It's not a skylight, right? So then the skylight that's in the middle, the two black slanted things, is that a reflection thing that I'm seeing?
That is a ghost from a bad rendering. So that's nothing.
Just checking, okay.
Just disregard that.
Okay. And then the brick detail on the south side in the back is very tall brick. Is that an outdoor shower? What is that going on back?
It's not. It's integrated into the pool house. It's actually it's an entry to the basement of this small pool house that has the pool equipment. So we've tried to minimize all impact to the site in terms of sound. So we put the pool equipment under the pool house. We put we've used geothermal, an extensive amount of geothermal in the back that surrounds the pool so that we don't have outdoor cooling equipment.
So all your condensers are,
There are no condensers.
it's all geothermal.
It's all geothermal,
And
yeah.
the pool heater and everything is below in the brick area.
The brick area is just the entrance to like a bilco or a hatch that's within that. We just wanted to separate it so, people aren't walking through there. You can kind of see it better in the site plan. And that's, yes, that's it exactly, that little white rectangle. Now, the brick continues along the pool house. So what you're seeing from the front is the 6-foot brick wall extending from that white rectangle to the end of the pool house on the south side. That's what you're seeing.
Okay.
You can see the pool house kind of poking up. I don't think you can actually see it from the street. It's going to be blocked by the house next door and all the vegetation. But we didn't want to show everything. That's probably a more accurate view of what you actually see from the street. You can see the brick poking out a little bit.
Yeah, and I actually don't see a back rendering. Does anybody else have a back rendering of that?
I think we're going to produce it, but not in the slideshow. Do you have a rendering of the rear of the house?
Or a sketch or something? Yeah.
So the rear of the house is like a
Window percentage, do you?
I do, we have that picture on.
So the rear of the house, as you can see, and I apologize for not having a slide to show you. And send that directly to me. It's a single story structure. And it's kind of like a solarium. And it's the utility room, there's a fire pit there, it's the back edge of the kitchen, and it's sort of an all-purpose function room.
Who's the neighbor to your west? Directly behind.
I don't know.
Are you near the pink house?
If there's no house directly behind, I know that. I mean, the house is to the north, but it's a big property and
The two houses behind us, on, I would say a third of the way is someone's driveway. And then the other 2/3 is someone's pool house.
So I
It's
think
not
the
the
pool
pink one,
house.
it's not the pink pool house.
No, that's down the street now, that's on our street now.
So from your backyard, can you see that their pool or is there screening?
There's a hedge there with fencing. And we currently have a hedge on like half the rear of our property. But that's just because we haven't, we cleared the entire property. And we plan on putting evergreens around the entire perimeter of the property, so it's screened year round. So yeah, there's no, anyway.
I'm just saying it's a little high on the back for the glazing. We try not to go above 30 on any given side.
Yeah.
If you really wanna look all the way through.
I think that's kind of nice though, actually, to be able to look through
I
from the
like
front to the
that
back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell. From the front. That's what's happening.
The front windows are actually, they're pretty high. I think from the street, they're.
So you don't see the lights, headlights or.
You wouldn't see headlights, the
They're
front
going
door and the kitchen,
the
the
way.
kitchen is to the right. Those are, I think the kitchen height relative to grade is about the sill is about 5 feet. The entry door is even slightly higher than that. So none of those lights are very low on the house.
Is there a portion on the back of chunk of windows you're willing to sacrifice or yes, below our threshold?
So you're suggesting that 30 is something you target?
It's really a ceiling that we're
The ceiling,
trying
okay.
really hard to get way. So
I could discuss that with the client and we can find out what we might do. How,
Alicia just mentioned that this top part could be helpful to just eliminate the top part there as a suggestion, but it's up to you guys. Obviously, we're not designers. Anyway.
Or a knee wall or something used with it. And I would say any, barring the fenestration on the west side, I think this seems not just appropriate in Sagaponic, but more niche, appropriate to town line. Sort of has its quirks, its
It's also
compact,
its own
no
thing.
it's.
Yeah, which is hard to do. I think
Yeah.
you guys did a great job.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
like-
I agree with that.
It's very charming
Yeah.
and shady and.
Yeah.
And
3.5% away from that stamp.
you did a great job of, reducing the mass of, it's really been very thoughtful and I like it. This is a little garage here, right?
Is
the
it
front.
big enough?
Back to the front, I'm so sorry.
that is it's a 1-story, but it's an oversized, one car that's oversized for like a workbench.
Okay.
There's
And
also
then-
a stair down in the basement inside.
Okay,
That's on
what
the
is the
left.
room, what is happening in the room to the left? That's still garage or that's?
I'm sorry, go to the left. Yeah, that's part of the garage space, but that's where the stair goes down to the utility. So we didn't want a Bilco, we didn't want exterior,
Yeah.
kind of exterior structure. So you walk into that, you can kind of see it on this slide here. You walk into the left of that opaque part of the building, that's the door, and then you turn left and go down the stairs. That's all part of the garage space. Do you have the plans? I mean, I know we
We did the
provided
site
them.
plan.
Okay.
We do have some plans here that say that it looks like I couldn't tell if it was a bed or a couch or whatever.
May I
These things are-
just come up there?
Yeah, please.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
I just wasn't sure what
This
this
is the skylights.
Oh, those
Yeah,
are
that's-
skylights.
Yeah, this is not the architecture plans, but it's good enough. Oh, here's enough. One more. Yeah, one more.
Okay, great. One more, that's,
One more. So this is these
those are stairs.
are the stairs, here's the 1-car garage, the workbench, and then you enter the house here, and this is a light bulb here. There are 2 bedrooms downstairs.
and then a whole sort of fence on the right side provides a lot of light that goes down in there to that main living
Does.
area, yeah.
And the idea is to vegetate that with some terracing planters, again, because it's something that Steve can speak to. But it's from the inside, from those 2 bedrooms, there are actually 2 bedrooms that are on that court. You'll see a lot of vegetation.
And then the fence on the left side, on the south side, is that glass?
No, it's just it's a pool code fence, so it's a 2-inch mesh. And then the gate is more decorative than that, but it's also, it has to be, certain size, because that is the pool fence of the house. As is the one, there's one on the right that you're gonna see that's further back.
It's great, I think. Choose with it, maybe we could just move to committee of 2 for the glazing on the back. Does anybody have any other comments on the design or suggested changes or?
Looks nice.
No, I think it's just the back. Maybe if you could help us with the glazing on the back.
Okay.
Committee of 2 we can approve.
Do we have to schedule a committee to?
No.
Oh, no, you just submit the changes, then they'll call a committee of 2 up, we look at it and.
Okay.
And so you don't have to wait a full month.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nathan, can I have a motion to adjourn that
Make a motion to adjourn. Second,
to the committee of 2?
182 Town Line Road for the committee of 2, the glazing on back of the home.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. On to 60 Daniels Lane in Farm.
And I have it also comes up as 58 Daniels.
Yeah, somebody scratched that out here. 58 or 60.
58 is the house lot in front of it,
Okay.
60 sits behind 58.
Got it.
So that's the,
I didn't question
Yeah.
that. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you to the board for the opportunity to present our project today. My name is Mark Thacker. I'm the architect for the proposed improvements to the existing farm worker housing at Topping Farm. Topping Farm represents an important connection to Sagaponic's agricultural heritage and the evolution of the village from a rural farming community into the historic residential landscape it is today. Like many properties that have shaped the character of the Southport, Topping Farm reflects the relationship between land, settlement, and architecture, where farmhouses, outbuildings, open fields, and working landscapes together form an important record of Sagaponic's history. As Sagaponic has changed over time, properties such as Topping Farm have remained tangible links to the village's agricultural roots. While the agricultural use of the property today is primarily equestrian, it continues to embody the characteristics of a working farm, requiring the daily care of horses, management of pastures, maintenance of barns and paddocks, and ongoing stewardship of the land. The preservation of these working landscapes is an important part of maintaining the historic character that the Architectural and Historic Review Board seeks to protect. Topping Farm is not simply open space. It is an active agricultural operation that depends on daily care, attention, and hands-on management throughout the year. The horses, barns, paddocks, riding areas, and surrounding landscape require consistent stewardship to maintain both the function and appearance of the property. The permanent farm workers who care for this property are an essential part of that stewardship. These individuals are not seasonal employees, but year-round members of the Topping Farm operation and part of the local community that supports the continued agricultural character of Sagaponack. Their daily presence allows for the consistent care and management required by an active equestrian farm. Their responsibilities include the daily feeding and care of the horses, stall maintenance, grooming and health monitoring, turnout and pasture management, seasonal care, veterinary coordination, and the ongoing maintenance of paddocks, fencing, riding rings, and other agricultural improvements. Beyond the practical operation of the farm, these daily efforts are what preserve its aesthetic character. The continued care of the barns, fields, fencing, paddocks, and open landscape maintains the orderly, pastoral quality that has long defined Topping Farm and contributes to the agricultural character of Sagaponack. The proposed improvements by the existing farm worker housing are intended to support these long-term members of the farm community by providing appropriate accommodations for the individuals whose daily presence is necessary to maintain and preserve the important agricultural use. Providing on-site accommodations reflects the historic relationship between agricultural land and the people responsible for its care, while supporting the continued stewardship of Topping Farm as a working part of Sagaponack's landscape. Our goal is to create a modest, thoughtfully designed improvement that supports the ongoing operation of Topping Farm while respecting the scale, character, and historical context of the surrounding landscape. Through careful siting, appropriate proportions, and materials that relate to the existing farm architecture, the proposal is intended to remain subordinate to and supportive of the historic character of the property. We appreciate the board's consideration and the opportunity to contribute to the continued preservation of Sagaponack's agricultural heritage. Can you go to the site plan? I think that's the second page. Start. So this is the current site plan. There's an existing L-shaped structure. It's two separate buildings in pretty bad shape, and we're proposing to demolish and rebuild these. The proposed work maintains the relationship of the new structure to the existing agricultural use of the property while improving the functionality of the site. If we go to the next slide, please. So this is the proposed site plan. And this illustrates the proposed improvements, not only to the building itself, but also to the overall approach and circulation of the site. As part of the proposal, the existing older pergola will be removed and a small parking area will be introduced to improve access and functionality while maintaining the character of the landscape. These improvements are intended to create a more organized and thoughtful arrival to the property. Next slide, please. And this is the survey, and this illustrates the proposed structure overlaid on the existing building footprint, and that's shown in dotted lines. The proposed structure is slightly larger than the existing building in order to provide more appropriate and functional accommodations for the permanent farm workers. The additional area has been reviewed and approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, including considerations related to the lot line modification. You can go to the next slide. So this is the ground level plan, and it's designed around two separate living scenarios into one structure. So you have one portion functions as a more individual style suite apartment that could be for the barn manager or head trainer, head groomer. And while the other provides a multi-room, multi-bed living arrangement. These areas can function independently or remain connected as a larger shared living arrangement organized around a central kitchen, dining, and living space. Each living area includes a covered porch oriented towards the sunset views and indirect northern light. We can go to the next slide. And then there's a loft space that will be for storage, We wanted to maintain these open areas within this level to allow natural light to filter both from below and from above, creating a more usable upper space, lot space. We can go to the roof plan. Next slide. So this brings us to the roof plan where the skylight dormers are used to help articulate the form of the building as seen further in the elevations and renderings. These elements provide indirect light into the storage area while also creating additional head height within that upper space. Although this upper area is not intended to be fully illuminated, the skylights have intentionally been oriented inward towards the property to minimize any potential impact or concern for neighboring properties. The next slide, please. And the basement is dedicated to storage and mechanical functions. Next slide. These elevations demonstrate the simplicity of the proposed form. Two straightforward gable structures working within the existing pyramid and height restrictions. The design approach is intentionally restrained using familiar agricultural forms while maintaining a contemporary interpretation. Next set of elevations, please. These elevations also illustrate how the skylight elements help break up the overall mass of the roof while providing natural light into the loft space and allowing light to continue into the lower level openings, which we will see in the following sections. These sections further demonstrate the simplicity of the construction and how the skylights function as dormers to provide additional head height within the upper loft area. So this is the existing west facade. This is what Gibson Road is about 500 feet away. And maybe you've seen these structures, but that's coming from the Gibson Road side. And the next slide. And this would be the proposed structure. So this is the visualization of the proposed work. As shown here and in the following views, our intent is to maintain the aesthetic character of the surrounding farmhouse structures while providing a more contemporary and minimalist interpretation of these traditional forms. The material palette remains rooted in the agricultural character of the property, preserving a sense of continuity with the existing landscape. We can move on to the next slide. This is the existing east facade. And go to the next slide. And this would be a rendering of that proposed facade, showing the relationship of the new structure to the surrounding landscape. Next slide. This would be the northern facade, so you're looking kind of from the barn area. And this rendering provides a representation of the proposed work with the existing vegetation removed to better illustrate the building form and architectural character in relation to the existing riding. Next slide. This final view illustrates the shared kitchen, dining, and living area. It demonstrates how skylight elements allow natural light to filter into the communal spaces, reinforcing the connection between the interior and the surrounding landscape. The shared spaces are intended to support the long-term residents of the farm while maintaining a simple, functional, and comfortable living environment. Thank you for your time and consideration, and we appreciate the opportunity to present this project and look forward to your feedback.
Thank you. Needs to be updated, so
That-
definitely looks like it needed to be updated.
Yes,
so.
yeah.
Is Topping Farm considered historical or?
But the actual
Structures not.
structures.
It's nice.
I mean, it's 500 feet away. So I don't see much of the modern element reading too heavily. The road. Yeah.
Multi-field. I think there are certain angles where I get it, and then there are others that I feel maybe are heavier handed on the modern front, but
I think it looks nice. I like the way you fitted the, bedrooms in and all of that. I think it's nice.
It is nice, appropriate. I can
You have to see it.
Yeah, and I wondered about on the roof on the left side there, the overhang. Does it feel a little bit like there needs to be, or maybe the same thing's happening on the right, and that's a balance?
Yeah, that covered porch element is similar on both ends.
Does that feel like it's?
I think if anything, it reinforces that site visit would make sense. Because it's entirely likely that at 500 feet, the smallest amount of brush would break it up that you wouldn't see it.
But
And
you were saying you took out the landscaping that's there for the visual.
Yeah, which is.
But
Yeah, I mean-
which is great, which is helpful, I'm just curious, but is what's there staying, are they preserving the landscaping, are they,
There's really.
are they removing it entirely, or are they just removing it for where it would make sense, like if it interrupted, the construction or something?
Yeah, all that landscaping is gonna be interrupting the construction. There is one large hydrangea bush on the opposite, the east, I guess it would be the east elevation, that she would like to preserve, but most of it's just kind of boxwood, brushy,
That's
and
good.
material. And mostly get rid of it. I think it's, yeah, exactly. That one's beautiful, yeah. So, but the idea would be to keep it as pastoral in that quality of the farm and not have, yeah, similar to these visuals.
And the skylights, do they need to pop off the roof that way? It feels.
He has these new, did you hear about the skylights he had from England?
Yes, I heard,
They're
yeah.
flat, and
Right.
you can't tell us who made them,
Right.
but
Oh,
that's what you should have. Not parallel, you shouldn't have a flat sky, find out.
The idea for these was to create the head height. If you go into the section, these spaces are very, very low ceilings. It's not a functional space. So the idea would be that you could, whatever materials you're bringing up there, what you're putting up there, that you're allowing an area that you could almost stand up in with that skylight protruding. So that was our thought process. And it kind of adds just as
That's a room.
architectural element.
Storage.
That's just storage space. So and then the length of them do not exceed the widths of the storage, the loft spaces. So it's literally just bringing in ambient light up there and then filtering down through into the ground level bedroom and.
I guess maybe less light emitting at night as a result.
Exactly, yeah. And we don't even need any lighting or fixtures up there really, because it's just something that would operate during the day, or you have a plug-in, lamp or something. It would not be something
Sorry, I'm
illuminating at night.
a little confused, so where that skylight is, up there,
Mhm.
what is in there?
That's just the loft storage area. So it's open to the communal side, just for that lighting.
Just for light.
Yeah, and then the second purpose of those skylights would be that kind of head height and kind of the idea of a dormer in a way to allow some more functionality to the space.
Is there continuous staff here, or is it?
Year round, yes.
Year round, but the same
Mercedes
people?
has been there for over 20 years, maybe 30 years. Oscar's been there for probably 25 years.
My kids have
And
taken
their living
lessons from
conditions right now are
Mercedes.
not great. Those,
So they
those-
live there?
Yes, they live on the farm.
This is
year
it?
round. Yep.
No families, no?
No families, no, it'll just be the workers. I believe they're allowed up to 6 workers on the farm. That's just the code for.
So the storage is necessary?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, there's seasonal attire and,
I
different, and there's not a lot of closet space for the bedroom, so it's kind of the idea that you could kind of throw stuff up there and then get it down.
Like lockers or
Yeah,
something.
kind of, right.
Okay, can you go to the proposed east facade, please?
And just another note, that way we can put all the mechanical equipment in the in the foundations and stuff, so that those spaces can be open.
Is this the east?
Yes, thank you.
I believe so, yes.
Can you describe the overhang, the tree going through?
Yeah, it's just a covered area to cover that porch. If you go to the site plan, proposed site plan, there's just a penetration in that overhang for, you can see it there too, but. So we have a wood clad steel, kind of structure there that would support that thin, outline of the tree there. Just as an architectural element.
So is it a deck? It's just,
It would be a concrete slab, brushed, broom finished. That's the main entry to the residence.
okay, okay.
The further riff on the
So-
overhang.
That's not a door though, it's the door,
Yeah, the door would be to your left of that.
but the overhang doesn't go over the door.
It does, yeah, it goes all the way across, so it connects from
I don't see it connecting over this door.
ground level plan, which is up, well, 2 more slides.
That's different.
Is this it with the dots?
Right there.
Proposed site
So the
plan?
door, the main door, right south of your mouse there, that's the main door. I guess it doesn't show the swing there, but yeah, that's the main
Okay,
access to the larger communal area.
okay, so this does cover the, it's not doing
Yes.
in the rendering, or maybe the door's hiding under there? I
The
see.
north side, if
Okay, maybe, so this is a window then, yeah, okay.
it would be in the, and it's hidden on the north facade, rendering by the tree there. Keep going. Next. Right there. So the door's behind that tree in the corner there. Yeah.
Oh.
It actually does show up in the north elevation. Go up a little bit.
And the door is made of glass or wood?
Wood. I think a couple more slides. That upper on the page, yes, that's the door there. That door is actually glass, sorry. The 2 doors on the covered porches that are kind of these private spaces, more private spaces, those are wood.
Anyone comment on the design at all?
I mean, it is a working farm. So this is obviously utility space and there are utilitarian reasons, maybe / excuses for things like the protruding skylight and stuff. I think it does sort of read of the farm, almost like the sad Main Street one, close to where the plains land. And I think if it reads away, I think it does far enough away. I think it wouldn't be too dissimilar from what we see now.
Yeah, you would, yeah, you'd think, is that new? Did they reshingle on us?
It's so small that one or two breaks in your field of view from the 550 feet away, and you've got a shed.
This doesn't bother anybody.
Again, I think in context of reading it while driving by or something.
I don't really know if I understand the
Tree going through.
I mean, it's interesting. Sorry, can I ask you a question on the north?
It's in front of the bathroom. That's why I put it there.
Little privacy and a little
Privacy for the bathroom.
element
At least
of.
not, at least 8 feet or,
500 feet, you never know.
Well, that's actually, if you're standing by the barn looking.
Right, it's
all-
privacy.
Yeah, you don't see it from the road at all.
Can I just ask a question on the north facade, please?
Yeah.
What is the existing structure on the left?
That is the barn and stable, so there's an indoor riding arena, and then where all the horses live.
Okay, so that's remains, and then that's where, okay, so that's where we're behind. So-
Yeah.
Do you have a glazing percentages for something expressive, but just need to have it?
Did that, I don't think I did that for the permit set yet, I can. Can quickly do that though for you. I was hearing earlier comments just, and I was like, oh, I think that I missed that one. We try to keep it very minimal, you know, the biggest idea is to kind of, you know, during the day, having that natural light in there and not using, you know, extra electricity and whatnot. And so space, try to keep it as open as possible, but minimize the amount of glazing.
I mean, I think, I'm still a little hung up on the skylight protrusion. I haven't ever seen it. I feel like that. Come up that high. Does that feel odd?
The standard Verilux, right? Isn't it, don't they come out 4 inches?
We said
That's
it's
an eight.
skylights and that looks really high.
Yeah, I'm proposing a more custom piece.
It comes up.
Yeah, like a longer, you know, more custom that would.
Yeah,
We could tie, yeah, more of an element that we could tie right into the roof, not a standard. Not your typical skylight.
So you
To
want-
give head
you want
height?
it to protrude.
Yes.
To
yeah.
give head height?
To give that head height, the idea of the dormer, to kind of allow just more function to the space.
but again, unless you're on the, essentially the roof of the riding stable, you're not gonna see that.
You're not gonna see it
Yeah.
yet.
Right.
It's all internal to the property, so it's facing the riding stable.
I have no questions.
I mean, I definitely think, I don't think we're ready to approve it as of yet. I just think it's a very iconic corner of Sagaponic, and I think I would love to walk through the property and with the plans now. Look and feel, and I mean, I might be the only one here, but I think for as modern and clean as it is, if there's something that feels a little imbalanced here without the post of the, I don't know, it feels like it's imbalanced here, and I think I feel better, more grounded, and that's the only non-traditional feeling I feel like. You know, the rest of it does feel like it's at the farm and could be easily fit in. That just feels a little off to me. Does anybody else agree with that?
I think in that picture it does, but again, I think that's what warrants a site visit.
Right.
But if it does come up like that, I think we would.
I think that's easy fix.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you could give us one more month here, that I don't think there's anything too glaring. We're gonna need the glazing percentages from you, and you can consider adding the posts. And we will all for it, so I will
Do you all want to do the site visit?
think so, I certainly do.
And you want to do the site visit, the architect, I'm assuming?
You mean,
We can do it on our own.
yeah, I don't know if it necessarily.
I'm willing to look at, just take my look from Daniel's.
Right, yeah, I mean, I might handle in there just so I can see different parts.
Why don't you let me know who wants to go to the site, and I'll just make sure that they know that you're going to be there, but I'm not going to have anybody accompany you or just wander the site. Please let me know.
Okay, thank you.
So the client won't have a problem if you guys just show up. It's a operating
Right,
facility,
there,
so.
all the time, okay, all right, so I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Thank you so much.
And again, next month.
It's August 24th.
Way that week, but I'll
And you're gonna get the glazing.
we could do the glazing percentages.
Yeah, I mean, you could send a representative. I don't think there's any major like
Right.
thorough presentation like you did today that.
Will you guys let us know what's that?
You can send Tony.
Yeah, put it to work. Will you guys let us know once you have the site visit, what your thoughts are on the distance and that detail?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll move on to addition renovations, 53 Hedges Lane. So, you know, you're here, you're back,
Yes.
but I have a piece of paper here that I'm going to read to put into the record, I believe.
I can't hear anything. It's as loud as it goes. It's as loud here.
Here, can you guys mute yourselves? 53 Hedges Lane to be read into the record by the chair. For the benefit of the record, this L. Mara Holdings 2 LLC, the owner, is the owner of a certain parcel located at 53 Hedges Lane. The property was improved with a contributing dwelling.
Stay.
Can you mute yourself, please?
Excuse me? Are you talking to me?
Yes, would you mind muting yourself?
Well, I'm here for the applicant.
That's fine, but I'm just in the middle of reading something. I can hear you.
Oh, very sorry. I just won't say anything. Thank you. Sorry about that.
The property was improved with a contributing dwelling known as the Johnson House, circa 1840, and listed on the U.S. Department of Interior National Register of Historic Places. Because the parcel was a contributing two-story frame residence and of significant historical and architectural contribution to the village, and as part of the application process, the owner was required to get approval from the AHRB to preserve the exterior and construct interior alterations to the contributing dwelling. The AHRB conducted 5 hearings on the application on July 25th, 2022, October 24th, 2022, November 28th, 2022, December 19th, 2022, and June 23rd, 2025. And the AHRB approved the application for construction of certain alterations in accordance with the detailed building plans and site plans prepared by Zachary T. Clanahan, architect, PC, dated May 22, 2025. However, despite the requirement to preserve the exterior as part of the project, the owner demolished the entire structure, resulting in the issuance of the stop work order. The village code provides Section 245-7, purpose and intent of the AHRB was, among many things, to preserve and enhance the character, historical interest, beauty, and general welfare of the village. Section 245-73, B1, specifically provides that the AHRB is charged with the duty of disapproving applications for the demolition, construction, reconstruction, and/or alteration of buildings and structures that are designed without consideration of the harmonious relation of the new or altered building or other structure to such buildings as already exist and the character and environs in which they are set. 245-73B further provides that this board should disapprove any applications that are alteration of any kind or degree to any structure which is a historic building and includes the refacing or resurfacing of the exterior facade of a structure or building in any manner which would substantially and significantly affect its character and appearance, as well as an act or process which substantially and significantly changes one or more of the exterior architectural features of a building or structure. Demolition is certainly beyond that criteria. And I'm finished. Now we are faced with putting the proverbial genie back in the bottle. This application is more akin to a certificate of appropriateness for the reconstruction of a historic house after the fact under Section 245-73B2D. Accordingly, the applicant is directed to submit an application for that provides for the exact historic reproduction of the Johnson House pursuant to Section 245-73B2D.
Okay, thank you. I guess I just be thanking you guys for hearing us here today and being able to present. And it's Zachary Clanahan representing the owner at 53 Hedges. And we want to apologize for us being here today because we all know it's because there was some oversight made on site when we didn't experience when we didn't go to either John or to you guys when we were facing the challenges with the structure that we addressed at our last meeting. We're hoping that what we submitted to you is something that's agreeable to you for where we can repurpose the structure that's there, work it also into the interior architecture as well. And as mentioned, we are planning on maintaining everything from the exterior standpoint on all 3 of those elevations to match exactly what was there originally on the house. I think we went through some of the things that we've done already to keep everything as it was. We're using Riley doors for those panel doors, using Anderson windows that match the sash and the light cuts of all the existing windows. We have mock-ups of the trim that are there. We're matching all that, all the casing. We do feel that once everything is done, no one will ever know that that house was really changed, unless you look at the back, obviously, because we took the back off. So I think we're just here to address any other questions that you have about what we propose.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah, thanks very much for the presentation and for the chairwoman's presentation opening of this. We just need to get a context for what the steps forward procedurally for what's going to happen here, right? We don't want this to drift off into space. The context and procedure protects everybody, right? Protects the village, protects the applicant. It lets everybody know what the steps are. What's next has to happen is you have to get a certificate of appropriateness, because this was, and I use the word was, and that obviously is a heartbreaker for a village like us, was a significant building in our village. And everybody knows when it's a significant village, when it has a name, right? When it actually has a name, the Johnson House, that automatically becomes a significant building. And this was listed as a significant building on the Department of Interior's National Register. That imbibes it with a certain amount of seriousness. So we have to take that very carefully as is listed on the National Register and part of our historic inventory in the village. That being said, this board obviously takes, as you listen to the hearings tonight, this afternoon, I should say, has to take the reconstruction equally seriously. So under the chapter 245, as outlined by the chairperson, what our recommended procedure is that the property owner, with the advice of counsel, and you're well represented by Mr. Bennett, who has been through this procedure many times in many villages and has our respect from the village's perspective, and you as the architect and the builder, we recognize that perhaps this was an inadvertent catastrophe that happened on this property, but the reconstruction needs to happen in a very careful way that has to reconstruct this property in a way that's going to do justice in a careful way to what this was. And that's going to have to be supervised by a historic consultant with historic materials in a I would have to say perfect way. So your plans are going to have to come back in your application for the certificate of appropriateness, are going to have to address all of those details of what this reconstruction is going to be on finishes, on construction materials, on dimensions. It cannot leave anything to guess. And so I think there is, in the record of the village and also in the previous records on submissions on this property, quite a good head start to get there. But the certificate of appropriateness is going to have a certain level of detail that this board's going to need on items that could have been salvaged. And there's going to have to be an answer on the record for items that could have been salvaged and that should be in your possession on this property, and how you're going to reuse some of those items. For instance, on items that could have been and should have been used that may have been on this site, such as that now when the property was demolished, such as the front door, such as other trim pieces. Are they cataloged? Where are they? Are they able to be reused? Where are some of the freeze boards? Are they being reused? Et cetera, et cetera. And that's the kind of level of detail that this board's going to need to have reviewed as part of your certificate of appropriateness analysis and submission. And I think that's what the next procedural steps are going to be before this board.
If I may, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Egan.
Sure.
I appreciate
John, could you just introduce yourself, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm confused because my name is there. But anyway, John Bennett, Bennett and Reed, 212 Windmill Lane, Southampton, New York. Thank you very much, Mr. Egan. That is a process that is going to be followed. And we look forward to working with the village in a very detailed and specific way. We will hire the appropriate historic consultant, and we welcome any further comments from the building department, from this board, to make sure that everybody understands the gravity of what happened here, and appreciate the fact that the board is willing to work with us in restoring this to the best degree possible. I know that restoration to a certain degree is mimicry, and it's not that's not what the village wants to have happen. But we will catalog everything that is there, the way that it's meant to be utilized and reconstructing to the best that we can. Apologize again for this unfortunate thing that happened, and again, thank you, Mr. Egan, for your very helpful direction on what the next step is.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Yeah.
I think I would just add, we do pride ourselves in doing a very detailed set, and we did submit a very detailed set of what we propose to match the existing historical characteristics of the house. Are we going to get like a comprehensive list of things that we need to add to that set to make sure that we hit those benchmarks?
I'm gonna recommend that there's probably gonna be an offline conversation you're gonna have with the building inspector and your historical consultant. This board, it's gonna be contemplated that, and Mr. Bennett, I'm sure is gonna advise too, that this board's gonna require a historical consultant on our side, that we're gonna that the chair and the vice chair is gonna consult with from the ARB side as well. But that'll be an offline conversation that you can have with the building inspector.
Okay,
Understood perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to require shop drawings of all mill pieces? And
Yes, that level of detail is going to be something that you're going to require, absolutely.
Okay. I think we have our homework set out for us. And again, I appreciate the board's direction and council's direction and understanding on this. We'll seek out a historic consultant to work in tandem with the village's consultant. We'll do that. We'll get this going.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to driveway gate, 610 Sag Main Street.
Good afternoon, board. Catherine Bowers-Cray from Kriegs and PC, attorney for applicant. So applicant is proposing a driveway gate with a 15-foot opening, 4 feet high, 2 inches and 2 and 7/8 inch opening between each slat. It is an untreated western red cedar fence. We submitted, I see it in front of the board, some renderings, a survey, and the plans for the fence.
Okay, I think Sag Pine, which is known for its open land views that never end and of fields. In order to try and keep that feeling, we've come up with a sort of style guide for gates, which is on the website. And so this feels a little bit more closed than I think what we would normally be looking for. So does anybody have any other thoughts on
Is
this?
this all, usually there's a drop, but maybe that's just because it's usually, right, like 6 feet, 4 feet? Is all
Yeah,
four?
it's just all 4 feet.
Okay.
And I just do want to note for the board, this is effectively a flag lot, so it's not fronting Sag Main Street. You have to go down. It's actually accessed through
Yes, I
easement.
drive down that way all the time.
Maybe more cross pieces, Megan, is that what you're saying, more cross pieces?
I would just say less vertical pieces.
Yeah.
or you could
The more
look at-
spacing between the slabs,
Yeah.
more than,
A lot.
And a cross piece, that you've seen it once, you know.
there are, sure, there are some cross pieces in here to be behind the slabs, but I do understand what this board is requesting, is more open space between.
And there are examples on the website.
Yes, I have seen that and I did send it.
Megan, I apologize, I seem to have lost the PDFs on this.
I don't think it's, yeah.
That's okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to wait another month if you want to submit designs for a committee of two to approve.
Okay, thank you, Board, I appreciate that.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
Board.
Yes, ma'am.
Adjourn that to a committee of two?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we would like to select our committee of two for August. Volunteers, I'm happy to do it.
I can do it, could I maybe drop off colleagues to it, yeah. 24, yeah.
Okay, all right, well, so.
For my keep.
I actually will be, so I will not be here on.
You will or you will not?
I will be at college.
Okay. You're going to call that here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony and Megan will be committee. Got it.
Is that an address, that's athletically,
That's what I've heard.
first time the lightweight blazer,
Loading.
yeah. First trip down south, we'll see or soccer.
All right, just to confirm, we're not doing a public hearing, right?
Not at this point, no.
Okay. Yes, so our next meeting date will be August 4th, 2026 at noon, and I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye. Presentation was do our best